We hear AlëxStüb. You're talking about promotion of your book that you wrote going around. That is a big joke. AlëxStüb, how can you be talking about promoting a book about freedom? Meanwhile, you lock up our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, who is the head of the state. You lock him up in Finland. And you're going around making a jest of yourself, promoting a book you wrote. You should be ashamed of yourself to be promoting a book about freedom. And you lock up our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa in Finnish jail. Or you just put it away. Let me use that word. And you're doing an investigation since November till now. You've not indicted this individual of any crime. And you're still investigating. And you're going about promoting your nonsense book you wrote. And you think we don't know what you're doing. So what is the plan there, Finland? What is your plan with Nigeria? So you remove Simon Ekpa, one, to stop the restoration of the independence of Biafra. Secondly, to aid Nigerian state. The states that rehabilitate and reintegrate non-terrorists. You aided them in the killing of innocent Biafrans. As we speak right now, that is what you are doing.
Depending on your time zone and location, Biafrans all over the world, I salute you all. Because my name is this emergency live broadcast. DPM with Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE and the USB cabinet members made yesterday via space. Biko Burochegi Bianso Biatukurala. He wanted the latest update now up now on the struggle. Now this live broadcast, during the broadcast, Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE made a very heavy, huge points directed to the Finnish government. Wasatarama as Simon Ekpa. We send the one send to Nigerian government. Wasatarama as the Kano. Man, I can actually make more points on the Finnish government and the president of Finland, AlëxStüb. We now where I see it was BIAFRANS. Now, Master Simon Ekpa had drop of the templates. Biafra with the plans about their freedom, about restoring their independence. BIAFRANS they matter about this thing. Is the bilateral relationship Nigerian government or the more important than the people's freedom? Yeah, Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE sent it directly to the Finnish president AlëxStüb. He watched this video one day. Eager man, this woman on the right track. Settle down and watch this video. Drop our opinion in a comment section. And Biko, the way video share. BIAFRANS needs to see this video. You need to watch this video. A lot was said. Concerning Mazen Nnamdi Kanu na detention of the DSS. One day, he video. A guy make everything on. He watches here. HF na Kabaru. Na Trumaka na share button. Ka other BIAFRANS. Don't wait for the updates. Watch the rest of the video, guys. I'll be right back.
This killing has been going on for years. And now Biafrans have said no more of those killings. We cannot continue to stay in a country that reintegrates non-terrorists into its system and you force us to live with terrorists. That is why Biafra declared their independence in Latin Finland on November the 29th, 2024. Nigeria state has also committed several atrocities, several criminal things against Biafra people. We have a lot of Biafran people in jail in different parts of Nigeria without no recourse to legal services, without no recourse to legal help. This is a country that arrests people, dump them in prisons without any remorse, without any opportunity for those individuals to bail themselves or even have their cases heard in court. So it's like we are still living in stone age in Nigeria. Nigeria is a failed state, and that has been documented in several areas. The worst part of this is the collusion of the Nigerian government with some European countries like Finland, like Britain, like the United Kingdom to suppress and destroy psychologically, emotionally, Biafrans all over the world, making us terrorists just for fighting for our freedom, just for our self-determination, just for trying to express ourselves. This is what Nigerian state has continued to do, colluding with European countries to continue to destroy our people. And we said no more of that. There are several instances. Our leader Nnamdi Kanu is still held today by the Nigeria state, going to almost 5 years for nothing, except the independence of Biafra. The United Nations Committee on Extraordinary Rendition has told Nigeria to leave Nnamdi Kanu and compensate him. Nigeria has refused to do that till date. About 2-3 competent courts inside Nigeria has gone through the case of our leader Nnamdi Kanu and acquitted and discharged him. Nigeria state continue to hold him till today as we speak. Why? Because they are more interested in milking our natural resources milking the oil and giving it to their cause and the people they collide with abroad. Now, our leader, our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, just for the same reason, nothing more. Finland invited him 2 weeks before our redeclaration in Lahti, Finland. And since then, Finland is holding our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. For the same reason, Nigeria is holding Nnamdi Kanu. So this is a calculated systemic plan by European countries to continue to subjugate Biafrans, to kill Biafrans, and continue at the same time to milk our natural resources to develop their countries. That cannot continue anymore. You cannot continue to kill and destroy countries, destroy Biafra by holding their leaders and instigating the reintegrated terrorists to come to our land to kill our people. There are several reports of human rights abuses by Nigeria state that has been documented, both by the United Nations, by African nations, the Organization of Emerging States in Africa. All these are well documented. Nigeria is forcefully removing all our male youths in Biafra land by killing them, taking them away, locking them up. Currently, as we speak, President Tinubu has his armored tanks inside the peaceful communities of Biafra land, attacking our people, hunting down our people for nothing. The same reason Finland is holding our Prime Minister. It is so easy for these European countries and the zoo country of Nigeria to label us terrorists. Why do they label us terrorists? They label us terrorists just because we want our freedom, nothing more. We want to make Biafra the nation, just like every other developing nation. We have better options, we have better services for our people, unlike what Nigeria offers. That is a crime of Biafrans, nothing more, nothing less. So anywhere Nigeria and Europeans, they see Biafrans, they try to tag them or label them terrorists. Recently, we have 4 innocent Biafrans that were arrested by our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa in Finland for nothing except just helping for the restoration of the independent state of Biafra. Finland, through their president and staff, arrested these innocent Biafrans, locked them up for days, for months. And our Prime Minister today is still locked up in Finland for nothing. Even when those innocent Biafrans, 4 of them were left out, Finland still is suffering those Biafrans till today. Most of them cannot access their bank account. Most of them, their businesses have been destroyed by Finland. Most of them, they cannot even get any basic services they need to sustain their families. And Finland has continued to suffer these innocent Biafrans, including our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. Just the same way Britain, using Nigeria, have continued to suffer our leader Nnamdi Kanu. This is what we as a people are going through, and we say no more of that. We are going to use everything within our means, legally possible, to protect ourselves. Self-defense is not a crime. Between December and now, when Finland took away our Prime Minister, Nigeria state has murdered over 500 innocent Biafrans for nothing. These are people sleeping in their homes. These are people just walking around in front of their homes. Nigerian state, using the southeast and south delegitimized governors, so Uzalima, Peter Soludo, they set up these criminal gangs. They call their agents, security agents, mostly reintegrated terrorists, and they use that to suppress and kill innocent Biafrans that are fighting for their freedom. This is what we are going through. You have a country in Nigeria where you have 2 laws. They use Sharia in the north and they use the secular law in the south. One country. Innocent Christians that are born to Christian families in the north are made to use and go through and obey the Sharia law. Christians are murdered in Nigeria, buried, mass graves. Nobody is doing anything about that. All of you remember the story of Deborah, the innocent Christian that was murdered in the north. Nothing has been brought against those people that killed this individual. And so many other thousands of Christians have been murdered in Nigeria, and nobody is saying anything about it. That when we rise up, when we say we want our nation, we do not want to continue to live in a country where non-terrorists are reintegrated and rehabilitated. Nigeria state connived with their British counterparts, the globalist counterparts, to arrest innocent Biafrans and put them away, thinking that is going to stop our quest for our freedom. Some of the examples, we have the Finnish president talking about book promotion utterances. We hear AlëxStüb, you're talking about promotion of your book that you wrote going around. That is a big joke. AlëxStüb, how can you be talking about promoting a book about freedom? Meanwhile, you lock up our Prime Minister Simon Eva, who is the head of the state. You lock him up in Finland, and you're going around making a jest of yourself, promoting a book you wrote. You should be ashamed of yourself to be promoting a book about freedom, and you lock up our Prime Minister Simon Eva in Finnish jail. Or you just put it away. Let me use that word. And you're doing an investigation since November till now. You've not indicted this individual of any crime, and you're still investigating. And you're going about promoting your nonsense book you wrote. And you think we don't know what you're doing. We know the European Empire, led by Britain, crumbled years back. But all they're doing is to hang on to the Nigerian state that supplies them crude oil, which they use to survive. And they can kill anyone. They can go to any length to destroy Biafrans, to continue to milk their natural resources. Not anymore. France is now heading Nigeria. That is why Nigeria was so scared of the coming of Donald Trump. Nigeria did everything possible to ensure that the president of America, Donald Trump, never came to power. They use people like NGOZI ORABUEZE to write all the nonsense about world trade and all that. That is the plan. Nigeria worked against the coming of President Trump. It's on public domain. Because they know America promotes and supports the independence of people. America protects Christians. America protects the freedom of speech. Unlike what Finland is doing and what Europe is doing and what the Nigerian state is doing. Currently, Finland is holding the head of a state, the head of the United States of Biafra. Finland knows very well that when they remove Simon Eva, Nigerian terrorist state will increase their activities of killing of innocent Biafrans. That is exactly what is going on. Finland planned with Nigeria and removed Simon Eva. And Nigeria increased their killing of innocent Biafrans. So what is the plan there, Finland? What is your plan with Nigeria? So you remove Simon Eva, one, to stop the restoration of the independence of Biafra. Secondly, to aid Nigerian state. The states that rehabilitate and reintegrate non-terrorists. You aided them in the killing of innocent Biafrans. As we speak right now, that is what you are doing. The time for crying is over. We are not going to beg anybody anymore. Our leader Nnamdi Kanu has talked enough. Our Prime Minister Simon Eva has talked enough. I believe Finland, there is no document about the restoration of Biafra that you do not have on your table. That Prime Minister Simon Eva submitted both to the government of Finland and to all the necessary authorities. You have that information. But you wanted more of the bilateral relation between Nigeria and Finland. You prefer that to the human rights of Biafrans. You prefer that to the survival and to innocent lives that are killed by Nigerian terrorist state. You take preference to the oil that Tinubu is going to give you, Finland and France. We are fully aware of that. I'm using this opportunity to tell any country in the world that is planning or negotiating any business with Nigeria in the form of oil or mineral resources. We are calling on you to cancel that contract right now because it's never ever going to flourish. Biafra is now a sovereign nation. We've declared our independence and we are going to protect our territorial integrity.